Coming up on Mountain News First at 4, a legend in the world of bluegrass music has died. What family and friends of Sonny Osborne are doing to honor his memory. And October is Black Cat Awareness Month as shelters and other animal welfare groups shine a spotlight on these often misunderstood felines.
And today, not our only rain chance this week. I'll break down all of those rain chances on the way coming up as First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Good afternoon again. I'm Dakota Makris. First at 4, we've been watching the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms in the mountains today as a strong cold front works through the region. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has the latest on this severe weather alert day. Evan.
That's right, Dakota. We continue to watch that cold front advance on into the mountains. Now, the good news is we've seen no severe weather so far today, no watches and no warnings, but we have seen some periods of heavy rain. Let's go out there to our I-64 camera at Moorhead. You see what we're talking about. We actually had a little bit of sunshine earlier on today that helped to stabilize the atmosphere just a little bit before more of those showers and storms moved in. There is a nice shot from our London Corbin Airport camera of some showers and storms advancing on into the airport. They're in the mid-60s right now there. That's an incredible shot of that. I wouldn't necessarily call it a shelf cloud, but it is very prominent there as that cold front begins to work right on through. And really, it's just about right on top of Corbin at this point, between London and Corbin right there. In fact, some parts of the Big Sandy region are just to the west of the Big Sandy getting in on some heavy rain right now. From Moorhead on down to Irvin right now. That's going to continue to push on off to the east. That is the cold front that is headed our way. Severe weather outlook, the northern half of the area still under a 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather. That risk gets lower the further south you go, but it's still something we'll be keeping an eye on as we head through tonight. Backing on out, you see what we're talking about. Low pressure spinning over parts of Ohio with that cold front trailing behind it and about to work right on in to the mountains. So as we head into tonight, we'll cool down quick. Those temperatures out there, first of all, cooling down quick once the front goes by. We've already gone down 3 degrees in the last half hour in Irvin. Forecast for tonight, cooling off quick. Upper 40s tonight with breezy conditions help bringing in those that cooler air mass working in. Showers on the way out, but it will be chilly. I'll have the details on when some more rain, though, could work into the mountains coming up in just a bit. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you so much. The world lost a pioneer in bluegrass music yesterday. Sonny Osborne was one half of the Osborne Brothers musical duo. Sonny Osborne largely impacted the bluegrass music industry as well as the Thousand Sticks community where he was born. Friends and family say they can find comfort in the memories they have shared with him and that his legacy will live on far beyond his death.
You hear a term people say larger than life all the time. You hear people say that he was larger than life. And a lot of times it's got some accuracy, but that term was absolutely made to fit Sonny Osborne.
Sonny's second cousin, Dean Osborne, adds that although Sonny's death has had a tremendous impact on the family, they have found comfort in the memories they've shared with him. Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman was at Cumberland Valley Electric in Knox County today to celebrate funding for broadband expansion in eastern Kentucky. Now the Lieutenant Governor was accompanied by several local leaders and company officials to announce grant funding that will allow eastern Kentucky electric cooperatives to participate in broadband expansion in the region.
Access to broadband is no longer a luxury. It is an absolute necessity. It's become part of our infrastructure.
Lieutenant Governor says she and Governor Andy Beshear believe access to affordable broadband is a fundamental right to every single Kentuckian, no matter their zip code. We'll hear more from the Lieutenant Governor and others at the event on the significance of this funding later on tonight. Well, cats may have 9 lives, but one dog is getting 2. Wolf County Search and Rescue says a pup is alive and well after falling off a 170-foot cliff. Although this story has a happy ending, Adam Berniston talked with rescue leaders about how you can keep your dog safe while hiking.
Team members with the Wolf County Search and Rescue Team say it's nothing short of a miracle what happened this weekend when they got called to a dog rescue that had fallen off a cliff here in the Red River Gorge.
While training in the Red River Gorge this past weekend, Wolf County Search and Rescue got a forwarded call about a frantic hiker who had lost their dog over the edge of a 170-foot cliff in the area called Indian Steps. Once rescue crews arrived, they quickly went down the Bison Way trailhead, fearing the worst for the pets. But on their way, Chief John May says a group of hikers said they had seen a dog roaming around unleashed, but wouldn't let them come close. So May says they continued on calling for the dog for a few minutes before it came out of the woods with only a few minor scratches.
He wasn't limping. I mean, he was just running around like a normal dog would be. So it was just crazy, unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how you survive a fall, whether it's a human or an animal that far.
Now, John May says while the Red River Gorge doesn't have any leash laws in place, he suggests it's always best to keep those pets on a leash so it's easier to keep them closer to you and avoid any accidents like this weekend. In the Red River Gorge, Adam Berniston, WKYT.
May says this time of year is especially dangerous on trails due to leaves falling on the trails, making it more slick. Well, Halloween is now less than 1 week away. While excitement continues to build up for this upcoming holiday, staff at one animal shelter in our area are urging people to not forget about black cats. Our Vivica Grayson is in Harlan County with more.
While it's important to have a fantastic Halloween, just make sure you're kind to our black feline friends. Just keeping it real.
Known to represent bad luck and other scary things, especially during the Halloween season, black cats often get a bad rap. So much so that staff at the Harlan County Animal Shelter say they're less likely to be adopted than their other feline counterparts. On top of that, they're often mistreated, neglected, and sometimes even killed, all because of the color of their fur. This Halloween, their advice is simple. Respect black cats, take in their beauty, and treat them with care.
Get the word out. If you've got a family member that's a black kitten, let the world know how super awesome these animals are to bring into your home. That like I said, they're no different than any other animal you're going to bring in. They're not part of any spooky mysticism. They're just little babies looking for a home too.
And just like staff at the Harlan County Animal Shelter say, just don't forget about our black cat friends this holiday. In Harlan County, Vivica Grayson, WIMT Mountain News.
National Black Cat Day is this Wednesday. It is a time to raise awareness for these felines while also eliminating the stigma placed on them by celebrating them. The Russian hackers that were behind a 2020 breach of U.S. federal agencies are going after more tech companies. Microsoft says the hacking group Noblium has compromised as many as 14 tech firms since May. The Russian spies are targeting companies that buy and distribute software and those that manage cloud computing services. Microsoft did not identify which companies were compromised, but it said the hackers have tried to break into more than 140 software resellers and other firms. The criminals use common techniques like phishing. Well, authorities in Illinois are identifying a North Carolina man who died at the hands of serial killer John Wayne Gacy. Now, this announcement comes more than 4 decades after the man's death. The Cook County Sheriff's Office says Wayne Alexander was probably around 21 years old when he was murdered. Now, the discovery comes after police joined forces with the DNA Doe Project, a nonprofit that uses victims' profile to find possible relatives. In 1980, Gacy was convicted of raping and killing 33 people, all male. All but 5 of the victims have now been identified. President Joe Biden's self-imposed deadline for passage of his sweeping Build Back Better legislative agenda is fast approaching, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says Democrats are close to a deal. A big part of the president's job includes getting holdout Democratic senators like Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin on board with the spending bill. He held talks with Manchin at his Delaware home over the weekend, and both sides say a deal could come this week.
We're all working in good faith. I've been talking to everybody, as you know, and I think that we've got a good understanding of each other now, better than we've ever had.
Senator Manchin says he's holding firm right now at wanting to only spend $1.5 trillion. That's down significantly from the original $3.5 trillion price tag, but it's uncertain if progressive Democrats in the House will agree to the lower dollar figure. Well, oil is continuing its spectacular recovery, topping $85 per barrel for the first time in intraday trading since 2014. That marks a 13% jump in oil prices this month alone, and 120% jump since this time last year. The turnaround is remarkable for a commodity that was trading at negative prices less than 18 months ago. The global energy crunch is similarly impacting the prices of coal, Natural gas, the average price Americans are paying for a gallon of gas now stands at $3.38. Kentucky businesses are short-staffed, more so than 48 other states. The numbers show more than 8% of Kentucky's workforce doesn't have a job. Well, what's driving that, and why is the Commonwealth falling behind? Victor Puente tries to answer those questions.
As the country tries to open back up following the coronavirus pandemic, Kentucky is still struggling. New numbers out from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics show 167,000 unfilled jobs in Kentucky. That translates into 8.2% of our workforce. Business leaders tell us they aren't surprised.
I think the numbers are alarming but not surprising. So I think it's data that informs and helps us understand a situation that we've all been experiencing.
Shanks said even before the pandemic, we were 40th in the nation when it came to our workforce participation rate. And the pandemic only made things worse.
We think at the Chamber, and we have always thought this, that there are several reasons why people have taken themselves out of the workforce, why they're not looking for work, why they're not working. And so it's hard to say that any one particular reason is the reason. I think it varies from person to person.
They've listed causes like a lack of childcare, fear of returning during a pandemic, and changing skill sets. They've also seen workers leave jobs for better paying opportunities as wages continue to rise. An estimated 84,000 Kentuckians quit their jobs in August. Shanks says it's a workers' market that likely won't change anytime soon. In Lexington, Victor Puente.
Only Alaska had a higher rate of unfilled jobs in August. Well, coming up first at 4, a global traffic jam is affecting consumers and businesses across America, forcing many companies to increase prices because of increased shipping costs.
And I'll have the latest look at both Pinpoint Doppler and Future View as we watch more rainfall move into the mountains. I'll have the details on the way.